This episode is brought to you by Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Everything is more exhilarating when you're on your motorcycle, just like your bike is more protected when you choose Progressive Motorcycle Insurance. They offer coverage for your bike, starting as low as $75 per year. And they keep things affordable, with discounts like paid in full, multi-policy, and responsible driver. So raise your kickstands and get to quoting at Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. $75 premium is for state minimum coverage. Not available in D.C. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
The last thing you want to hear when you need your auto insurance most is,
"Thank you for calling. Please listen to your list of 46 possible service options."
which is why when you choose USAA Auto Insurance, you'll get great service that is easy and reliable. 24/7 online service for claims, access to roadside assistance, and more. All at the touch of a button. Start getting the service you deserve. Get a quote today. Ability to receive a quote depends on membership eligibility. Membership eligibility and product restrictions apply and are subject to change. USAA means United Services Automobile Association and its affiliates, San Antonio, Texas.
Happy Halloween horror movie night, and as is tradition, we are doing another Halloween draft.
What? Why?
Wow. Fright Fest. Six Flags Fright Fest.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I think that's what it's called. I don't
Yeah.
know. We have another amusement park here that I think everything's called Fright Fest, right?
Yeah, there's a million of them, or Frightland.
Well, welcome
or-
to Fright Fest, everybody.
So-
Happy you're here.
So Kyle doesn't remember doing a draft, but he did join us for a draft in the past when we drafted building our own anthology film.
Wasn't that literally
okay, no,
1 year ago?
Yeah, no, okay. No, I do, okay. I thought that you meant we did the same themed
No,
draft,
no,
and
no,
I
no,
was
no.
like, I
We would
really don't
never.
remember that.
We would never.
And that makes a lot more sense.
No.
Oh, I feel a lot better now.
There we go.
I
Yeah,
feel a
so-
lot more confident.
No, we try
Makes
not to
me feel
repeat. We try not to repeat topics. Now,
Right.
the closest we've come to this topic was, I think, our first or second draft. It was just movies for a Halloween marathon, right? Like if you were just
yeah.
having people over and you were watching movies for Halloween. This one, it's slightly tweaked. This is movies of any genre that take place at Halloween. And there was one caveat that I made, because even when I was checking this I checked a wiki page and I found a lot of inaccuracies on that wiki page.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
These are movies that is like a decent size. More than half of the movie is on Halloween day. So like Mean Girls, because there's a Halloween party for like 5 minutes in that movie, does not count in this category.
No.
And then there was shit like, I saw like Monster Squad on there and I'm like, there's no
Does
way
not
Monster
count.
Squad is a Halloween movie. Like,
We were looking at the exact same wiki, weren't we?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was terrible. I made sure to click through, and even like I just did the Control F to find Halloween in the description. You know what I mean? Because I was like,
if
I
it's
have to,
not, if it's not important enough for Halloween to appear in the plot description of Wiki, then it barely counts.
then it barely counts.
So-
So don't put it on the list.
Yeah.
So this is why we're gonna have the definitive draft
This is
here,
the definitive
right here,
draft, and
right
we'll-
now.
And we'll
And
see
also,
who
if we
ends up with
fuck
the
things
best
up-
lineup.
Yeah, but also if we fuck things up and we do say something that doesn't fit, we can argue that as well.
We can argue that. We can argue that. But
And I think there's maybe one or two on mine that are they're certainly not caveats, but they're dancing around the rules a little bit. But I'm interested to hear your takes. I'm gonna crack this right now because it's important to get started on this. And I have Trick or Treat Kittens. It's a double IPA with candy corn.
Oh man. Wait, candy corn in it?
Yeah.
Oh god, I really wish I could taste that. I was gonna say smell that, but oh,
if there's
man.
any more left, I'll send you one.
Oh, you don't have to do
It's
that,
not
but I
good.
appreciate you.
But you could. It's
Um,
great.
oh, that's why you want to send it to me. So two things.
It's not good.
One,
It's great.
I have to say, and I've said this before somewhere or other. Yeah, you're not there. It has to be in front of
There's
your
a
face.
little Fred. There's just a little Freddy. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
Oh,
interrupt you, but I wanted to
super
make sure you
cute.
all saw the little Freddy.
oh,
Okay. Okay.
So I know I've said this on the show at some point or other, but it bears repeating that no Halloween candy tastes as good as what I imagined fucking Tina from Halloween 5 at the beginning when she's visiting Jamie at the kids' mental health center when she's eating fucking candy corn. No Halloween candy tastes as good as what I imagined that Halloween candy tasted like for her. And I don't know why. I don't know.
Scott naming potential picks out there for all of us
Oh,
that may have had
there
Halloween
is one
5
rule.
on our list.
Well, I'm sorry. A couple. No, I'm not picking Halloween 5. You know me well,
Could you
well enough that I'm not
imagine?
picking Halloween 5. A couple things. What we can each only pick one movie from the Halloween franchise.
I actually picked 0 on my list.
Okay,
I
I'm
wasn't
saying
even,
like
I
there are
ignored
a
it.
couple ground rules that I was thinking about. One,
Yeah.
you can only pick one Halloween movie.
Okay.
And so that includes John Carpenter, Mustafa Akkad, Rob Zombie, and the new ones.
Blumhouse.
Blumhouse. Yes, thank you. 2, you can only pick one Rob Zombie movie.
Okay.
Is that okay?
I think that's fair.
Okay. So I also have.
I feel like
Not
that Rob
one.
Zombie rule only would have counted if Brian
If
was.
Brian was here,
would
that's
have
why.
Yeah.
Well, that was the whole thing. So I have not 1, not 2, but 3 beers.
Oh my God, the Holy Trinity.
So a listener of ours, Greg McQuarrie, works at Hoosier Brewing Company in Greenwood, Indiana, I believe.
Who's your brewing company?
Hoosier? I don't even know her.
I love it.
But he sent me
Love it.
3 flavors of these fruited sours. And so there's this one, which is called the Phoenix, which is a strawberry birthday cake soft serve. I've been saving this one. I have not tasted it, but Phoenix. I don't know why. That's I know why, but I also don't know why. But so the second flavor is blueberry cobbler with a la mode, and this one I opened up a couple days ago because I couldn't wait. And dear God, it is so blue. It is like it showed me it's bluebies. It's really really good. I could not drink the whole thing because it was so rich. It was just like it really is like a blueberry cobbler with ice cream on it. It was and I mean and they definitely are using real like fruit instead of extract. I mean they may also be using extract, but I was blown away by like when I poured it into a glass, I was like, it is thick. It obviously has blueberry puree in it. It was great. And then the third one, which Megan had, is called Payout, and it's strawberry mango pineapple. She likes pineapple. I do not. So
I like the can art on it.
Yeah, the
too.
can art on all 3 looks great, actually.
yeah, they're super fun. But yeah, so I'm gonna crack open the Phoenix. The
Thanks, Greg.
strawberry one.
Thanks,
so
Greg.
thank you so much. If you are near Hoosier
can't
Brewing
hear,
Company,
can't
or if
not
you are going, oh Jesus Christ, I made a huge mess. If you are going through Greenwood, Indiana, hit them up, grab a couple crowlers, and support the people that support Horror Movie Night, because I'm loving this get stuff for podcasting vibe that's been happening, like that and one other thing that's happening this month. And I would love for that to be a mutually beneficial, symbiotic event for everyone involved that like the show.
absolutely.
So bottoms up.
Drink to that.
Sip, sip, sip.
Oh my God. Yeah, that actually tastes like strawberry birthday cake soft serve.
Hell yeah.
It actually
dog.
has like, it looks like it has
They know what they're doing over there.
cake in it. It's fucking wild. It's actually the best of the 3.
All 5 members?
I was reluctantly crossed to the starting line for this one.
All right, so for the draft,
Well,
Kyle, I'm going to make things simple. I'm going to just say that you, as the newest addition to Horror
She's the
Movie Night, can decide the order in which we go, and then we'll just do round robin from there.
No. I don't.
You gotta be smart about it.
Do I? I don't even know how to be smart about it.
Well, I can
I'm-
suggest. That
Yeah,
you
I
go.
would say think
Don't go
about what
first.
the picks
I
are
think
that
I'm-
you want, and make sure that you're not putting yourself after someone who may steal those same picks.
Okay. Scott, you go first.
Fuck.
I'll go second. Matt, you go third.
All right.
All right, so
He sees me as a threat. Got it.
now
Noted.
because I don't want Matt to take this, I am going with my favorite non-Michael Myers movie that takes place on Halloween. I am going with Trick or Treat from 1987. 87, I want to say.
86 or
but
87.
86 or
It's
87.
86, I'm pretty sure.
Sammy Kerr is coming back from the dead in all of his hair metal glory, and he's gonna do some fucking, David Lee Roth antics, and then electrocute your ass. So yeah, I love that movie.
That is the most on-brand first pick you could have ever had for this.
There's
and
only one other one, and I know that no one is going to pick it. That's why I didn't pick it as my first one. But
No,
there's one other one that's very, very on brand for me as well.
That's very fair. All right. I got nothing. We've got 2 episodes about Trick or Treat on the feed. So
Did we do a rewind with Brian?
Yeah, that was the very first rewatch we did.
Ah,
was that one because
Can we
Brian
do
was
another
so
one?
upset he wasn't
Dude,
there.
I'll
for
fucking
that.
do another. Like, I would love a rewind. I haven't watched that in years, but when I saw that, there was a kid at Creature Feature Weekend who won the costume contest
As
dressed
Sammy
as
Kerr.
Sammy
Oh,
Kerr, and
seriously?
it was
God damn, I
fucking
missed
sick.
so much cool
I'll-
shit at Creature
I wonder,
Feature
I
Weekend.
wonder if I don't know. Maybe I'll send you the picture.
Yeah, I thought
Scott.
we sent you
I
the picture.
never saw a picture.
He killed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Kyle, what's
okay,
your first
so
pick?
okay. No, I guess I do need. I'm sorry, I do need a little hand holding. I'm going to make a suggestion, and the hope is that nobody else makes a suggestion.
Okay.
Is that the idea? No, is that the?
Oh
that's
yeah,
a question.
you pick a movie, and no one else can have that movie for their lineup at that point.
Oh, okay. House of a Thousand Corpses.
That was
That's
a
fine. No one
potential
else is gonna
honorable
pick that 'cause
mention.
Brian is not here.
Yeah.
Damn, I
gonna-
thought I made a good move.
No, if Brian was here, you would have made the move of all moves. Honestly.
Right. Okay.
I
all right.
mean-
no, I mean that movie. I mean, it's just it has a couple different things going for it for me. And mainly it's that like maybe the people who show up at the house, like Rainn Wilson and fucking the crew, don't quite take Halloween as seriously, and I love a movie where somebody doesn't take Halloween seriously.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And shit turns.
You know what I'll say, and this is not a diss at Scott's pick. Scott's pick is so on brand for Scott's pick, but I feel like Scott picked a movie that takes place at Halloween. You picked a movie that I feel like oozes Halloween in so many shots. Like, even I always think of just the first like 10 minutes of that movie give me such a like nostalgic Halloween vibe between like the late night horror show commercial advertising, like, oh, we're gonna be having some scary movies this Halloween on our channel, and then like she's making the phone call at the phone booth and all the kids are trick-or-treating outside, and like them doing the makeup show and the masquerade at the dinner table and all, like it just it really is like Rob Zombie trying to pull as many different elements of how people celebrate it Halloween in like the 70s into a singular like thing. That was on my long list, but I'm glad you got to it first, and more so I'm glad you didn't take my first pick.
Okay.
This one has just skyrocketed so high up into like the movies I have to watch every October. And, we're friends with the director. So I'm going with WNUF Halloween special.
Damn it! I should have done that as my number one because I was like, oh, he's gonna pick Trick or Treat first, and so I'm gonna pick WNUF second. So disappointed in myself.
It is. I mean, it is still a flawless.
It's a must-watch.
It's so good, and that's like one that I just literally the other day. I was listening to Adam Sandler Please Stop, which is Robert Bacon's Adam Sandler podcast, and they were doing the Pauly Shore Pinocchio movie that came out this year. But at the end of it, they were saying things that you should watch, and Bacon was like, I randomly stumbled upon this movie called Out There Halloween Megatape. And he's like, it's incredible. He's like, apparently it's this dude Chris. Apparently he made it's like a sequel to a film he did called WNUF Halloween Special. I checked that out. That's amazing too. And it's like hearing people that I respect as like a person who knows good things.
Right.
Having no emotional connection with the filmmaker and still being like, both of these movies are masterpieces. Like, fucking love to see it. Love to hear it. Love to see it. Of course, I immediately was like, Scott Roger did some songs on one of them.
Well, the good thing I
were you
love.
listening to the podcast and you just mumbled that to yourself?
No, I texted him that too. I was like, hey, just heads up.
I love that. Well, and I love that because I think that the sequel is getting so much love, not in a big boost, like not in a big like wave of love and then falling off. It's like really getting this consistent, like I at least I've seen, but especially by people who I don't know and don't know Chris, like, and I don't know him either. So like I've just
Didn't you hang out with Chris
briefly? I mean,
Melissa
I met him for the first time at Creature Feature Weekend.
I think that when I met Chris, I was like, "Do you know Kyle Kukta?" And he was like, "No." And I'm like, when I was talking to you, I was like, "Do you know Chris LaMartina?"
Yeah, no,
I was like,
and
well, how do
we've
you guys
not
not know each other?
Well, that's the yeah, it's a beautiful thing, and I very much enjoyed meeting Chris. But I've been seeing this like energy and this like enthusiasm about the sequel span an array of people and groups, which has just been so cool.
Yeah.
So I to echo that, it's just very cool.
All right, but back to you, Scott, for your second pick.
I don't even know what to say anymore. I do actually.
Those are his 4 other picks.
Yeah, I was literally just gonna do 4 viewings of WNUF sequel, WNUF Halloween special, and I'm not gonna pick the Out There Halloween mega tape because that would just be too much ball sucking for Chris LaMartina. So I'm gonna go with.
He's got to pay for that.
Yeah. Now, I think that I'm gonna get some slack here or some flack rather, whatever it is.
No slack, all flack.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. Because I'm pretty much picking only Halloween movies, or movies that literally are on or right before Halloween. They are not tertiarily related to Halloween. So I'm gonna go with Night of the Demons, which people forget. I think that a lot of people forget that movie exists as a Halloween night movie.
Yeah.
I don't mean you guys. I mean just in the general, like, more pedestrian horror watcher type world where when they think of Halloween movies, they think of Michael Myers, they think of Friday the 13th, even though it doesn't really exist on in the Halloween era, but it doesn't matter. They think of Nightmare on Elm Street, but they don't think of Night of the Demons. I feel like that movie is so well known, but also super fucking obscure.
Yeah.
It's so weird. It's like it sits in this very strange limbo of 80s horror where people who know it and love it will talk about it constantly. People that don't really remember it don't think about it. And then when you're like, hey, what about like Night of the Demons? They'll be like, oh, I don't know. Or they'll be like, oh, I haven't thought about that movie in forever. Really, there's no middle ground with that movie. And I fucking love it.
No, there's supposed to be a documentary about it coming out that got crowdfunded and then
nice.
But it kind of fell off. I don't know if it's actually going to come out, but I agree. Like, you know what the big thing for me is that like I can't, like, besides Linnea Quigley in the pink and Angela,
just want to look good for the boys.
Nobody's like in costume, right? So like, and when I think of the characters in like,
well,
like,
no, they are.
Everybody's in
Roger's
costume.
dressed like a pirate.
There's Alice.
But nobody's in for me, nobody's in a memorable costume. I think of like
Angela's costume is memorable because she wears it for 3 fucking movies.
True.
But no, I get what you mean. Like, those are the iconic.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, those are the
iconic
iconic costumes. And...
I fall into that camp that you're talking about, Scott, where I really don't think. I had it on my long list, but I don't think about it. I don't think about it a lot.
I feel like my appreciation of that movie grows with every single watch because
John
it is.
Hamm.
It is such a tight. It's under 90 minutes and it fucking moves. Like,
is it under 90?
So
I
good.
gotta watch it again. I gotta revisit.
First of all, the soundtrack, like the instrumental soundtrack, by Michael
Jackson.
Had it. And anyway, the original soundtrack is phenomenal, and then it's also got like a secondary soundtrack of these weird needle drops that I don't actually think are real bands. I think that they were written or they're just absolutely nobodies. But there's one that's so great called Computer Date, and it's like a kind of like this new wave meets. I don't know how to explain it. It's like a new wave song, basically. Like it kind of new wave meets heavy metal almost, and
it falls into the perfect realm. Like that whole soundtrack falls into like the perfect companion piece. Actually, I'm not gonna say it. It'd be stealing another pick. But a punk rock zombie movie we all mutually love has a very similar soundtrack vibe.
But that movie does not fall on Halloween.
Oh, okay. Then we're good to say Return of the Living Dead has
Return of the Living Dead is a 4th of July movie.
It's a 4th of July.
Oh, that's right. It is the 4th of July. It is the 4th
well,
of July.
technically, it's 3rd of July,
3rd of
but
July.
it's
Gotcha.
close enough. We
What
celebrate that movie.
I remember it was like the day before a major holiday, and in my brain I was just like, yeah, Halloween.
No, when people put,
Oh wait, you're right, because they're
Return of
not
the
wearing
Living
a
Dead,
fucking costume. It's a way of life.
It's a way
It's a way of life.
Exactly.
Think about it.
And it also has Linnea in it, so she's
Yeah.
it was on your mind.
God,
because of
yeah,
Night of the
no,
Demons.
she's great.
It all happens.
She's
All right.
absolutely just the sweetest. But anyway, so yeah, I'm going with Night of the Demons, and Kyle, what are you going with?
Okay, I also could potentially. I'm
You're
gonna
also
go with
picking Night of the Demons.
I'm gonna go with Donnie Darko.
Oh motherfucker,
That
that
was
was
on
my
my
next
long
pick.
Um,
Good job.
Yeah,
the fucking Antichrist.
Yeah. So I thought about it, and I was like trying to measure in my mind how much Halloween is in there, and more so than how much Halloween is in there, it's how important Halloween is.
It's
or
the
at
whole
least
crux
the
of the
Halloween
movie.
party.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, and when I think about the energy, it's autumn, it's Halloween, it's gearing up for the Halloween party, which is such a big event. And it's like, I mean, I know it's horror adjacent, but it's not. It's like, but it's not horror at all. And I love an atmospheric sense of Halloween. It feels New England to me, but it also feels pretty universal at the same time. Like, it's just it's just great. It's just great. So Donnie Darko is my other pick.
No, I love it. And I'll just say, because that was going to be my next pick. Like, that movie, for me, that movie resonates with me in this beautiful reminder that there is like no nostalgia stronger than whatever your favorite movies were when you were a high schooler. And like,
I'm 2 for 2 right now on my draft on my high school favorites.
But it was like that movie. When I think of that movie, I feel like that being one of those films that kind of like just blew open the doors for me, knowing that there was like films like this in existence. Like I always said, like right around the summer before 9th grade is when I discovered Kevin Smith and Clerks. And like, that was this whole journey into like the 90s slacker independent cinema. And then it was like sophomore year, after doing like a year or two with TV studio, that like the guy who ran the TV studio was comfortable enough with me that he would start recommending movies to me. And I remember this was the beginning of my junior year, and I was dating a girl who was a freshman in college, and she was like a film student. And that was like every date was basically like she would come and stay at my parents' house for a weekend, or I would go and stay at the dorm for a weekend, and we would just rent a shit ton of these like films that either my film teacher or her film teacher recommended to us. And it's like during just like that 6 months that we dated, it was like I watched Harold and Maude, I watched Donnie Darko, I watched The Rules of Attraction, I watched American Psycho, I watched Secretary. Like, it was just this crazy amount of Secretary.
That one definitely sticks out a little bit.
That sticks out a bit for me too, but I understand.
But, it was because Secretary,
watching that with your like older girlfriend is a real weird flex.
I think that it was
super weird flex.
But a lot of it was also like, that's how we saw, like, we would rent those movies, but we would make sure to watch all of the trailers, and then it was like those were the movies we were going to rent next, because those indie DVDs only had these obscure indie trailers. And that's how I discovered a movie like Comic Book Villains, which is a really obscure movie that's really fucking good and dark. That is such a good call. Donnie Darko is such a good pick. Scott, get ready to get pissed off, because I think I'm taking another one off your list.
I won't be as pissed off on anything you take after you took my boy Chris's film.
So my number 2 then is going to become Idle Hands.
I knew that was like low on my list. I was like, if that motherfucker doesn't take it by the 5th round, then I'll take it. But you deserve Idle Hands. It's such a good fucking movie.
Idle Hands is so good. It's so funny. It's such a perfect blend of like horror and comedy, while also just being so Halloween-y. From the opening shot to the closing shot, it is like never letting you forget that this movie is taking place on the last week of October. Like,
it's so good.
And it still holds up. It really fucking holds up. It's one that if I do have the freedom, so like not sitting at a desk job, to like spend Halloween watching a shit ton of horror movies, it is usually one that makes it into the list of like, all right, if I'm going to sit and watch horror movies all day for Halloween, like this one's on the docket.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm actually disappointed in myself. I haven't watched it yet this year, so I've still got a couple days as of the recording of
You
this.
do.
I've
We'll
done
get
a
there.
horrendous job watching horror movies that I'm a fan of this month for
Well, I've been
multiple
watching a lot of
reasons, but-
new shit.
That's what I
Like,
mean.
been
I've
trying
watched
to-
so much new shit that like all the classics has kind of fallen to the wayside. I need to make up for it this weekend for sure.
Yeah, we're
um,
really bad horror fanatics, I guess.
Mm. All right, Scott, what's your third pick?
So I have a question for you guys. I really want to go with Sleepy Hollow, but it's not an overtly Halloween movie, but there are pumpkins and scarecrows and there's a harvest dance and it's very obviously fall, but it may actually be November. So what
Let
do you guys
me-
think?
Let me check one thing very quickly.
Scott, what was the movie? I feel so bad. I was looking up another movie. for-
Sleepy Hollow.
before- Sleepy Hollow. Oh, okay. Oh, you
Tim
know,
Burton.
I have a yeah. I don't know if it actually falls on Sleepy Hollow or if the original story falls on
That's-
Halloween. Is what I
It's
meant.
just the
no,
thing
that's
though
what
is that
so here's why I'm going to give you the pass, because the lowest movie on my list was The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad, because
Yep.
half of that
Because of-
movie is it like the Mr. Toad portion of that movie has nothing to do with Halloween, and I didn't want to just pick the 20-minute short because that's not a movie, but the basis of that movie is Halloween night. Like the
okay.
Headless Horseman comes out on Halloween night. We're giving you some slack on this one, but don't let it happen again.
don't worry. I promise you that was the only one on my list that was a questionable. Is this on Halloween or not? So yeah,
The one
thanks,
with
guys.
Jeff
Appreciate you.
Goldblum.
Yeah. Oh man, I still want to watch it.
Oh,
That
yeah,
and
I
the
just-
fucking the Three Pigs where he's the big bad wolf, but he
I-
does like scat. You know, he's like,
Yeah.
you know, he's
That's
like
in that same anthology
jazz.
with Shelley Duvall, right? Is that the?
Yeah, I think
okay.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just ripped that VHS of the Legend of Sleepy Hollow with him.
Oh my
so I'll
God.
Send it, I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
You are an absolute angel.
And Scott, I feel like you've I won't say threatened because it's a great movie, but you have almost picked Sleepy Hollow many in October.
It's too fucking good for us, you know.
Yeah, but then
I
you
haven't seen
complain
it in
that
a
we
long
watch stuff
time.
that's too bad for us. So we got to find.
Well,
it.
it's a happy medium.
Yeah, we got.
No, I don't complain that we watch stuff that's too bad for us. I just don't want to watch trash that hurts to watch every week. If we do it like every 6 weeks, I can live with it. I
Every
wanna have, like-
every Kyle pick. is
Yeah,
fine,
every 3
right?
weeks or so we
Every
watch
other
something
Kyle
really
pick.
bad.
So
all right.
I think that Kyle, sorry buddy, I think we're gonna take away some of your picks.
Why is our third co-host always the one that we have to monitor the picks?
No, but it's true.
I think I followed into a
No,
into
you've
a
got-
rhythm here. Maybe I don't know.
You'll-
After the first of the year.
No, you're doing great.
but-
You're doing great.
I'm so stoked for the what your beginning of 2023 picks are already. So don't you do any? Don't
Okay.
you change?
I'm
a
not gonna
thing,
change for
baby.
you, Scott. I'll
Yeah.
never change for you.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah, I don't want you to change a thing. So Kyle, what is?
Oh, so do you want Sleepy Hollow?
Yeah,
I'm going
Hollow,
Sleepy
so
Hollow.
we'll
That's
go
my
with
third, yep.
your third
Great.
pick.
Monster House.
All right.
Oh, okay. I just watched that.
I just want to. I don't know if it takes place on Halloween. I think that it does.
I feel like it's close enough.
pretty
If
sure
I
it
get a
does.
pass for Sleepy Hollow, you can have a pass for Monster House.
But Monster House, I don't know. I wanted to throw. There's a lot of kids movies that I feel like could fall into this, and I wanted to make sure I had one. And I think that Monster House is severely underrated.
Yeah. It takes place on October 30th, so you're good.
Oh,
Okay.
and
All
it's
right. Got
close
it.
enough for me.
Got it. Okay. Monster House. It's super underrated. Every time I go to a fucking like thrift store or anything like a used bookstore, there's so many DVDs of it, and I'm
Really?
just like I don't know.
I
I'm just
feel I feel like the only negative thing I would say about Monster House is that the CGI is clearly cheap compared to like.
Oh, I
other
thought that was
films
on purpose.
No, I think that was budgetary to a certain
Okay.
extent.
Well,
Because
you got to keep in mind that this October is the first time I ever watched Monster House.
Gotcha.
So
yeah, because that was Zemeckis and I mean, it was Zemeckis and Spielberg, but I feel like Zemeckis and Spielberg have consistently
Should've.
not been great with their CGI. Like Polar Express is horrifying to me. So, like,
Is that your favorite Christmas horror
yeah,
movie?
that's a Christmas horror movie. If
Oh, I
I've ever seen it.
saw a meme of somebody being like, the eyes from Polar Express still scare the hell out of me, and it's a quadrant, and it has three sets of eyes from Polar Express, but then the other one's Mark Zuckerberg,
Oh,
and his
God.
eyes are just fucking dead.
Um,
Explaining a meme is fun, but it felt right. Okay, Monster House for me.
all right. I'm going to go with another. This is one that we discovered was a Halloween movie on the podcast when we were discussing it.
You fuck. Why are you trying to hurt me so much? I know where you're going with this.
I'm going with the Charles Band little guy killer doll classic, The Demonic Toys.
I think that it's
Wow.
okay that you have that because you are way more about killer dolls than I am. So
Exactly.
I give you my blessing with only a slight bit of reservation and hatred. Just a bit.
I mean, this movie's fun as shit. Again, super short, like 70 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Really?
It takes no time at all to watch that movie.
And yeah, I think we did it as like a September movie. It may have been like a listener submitted month or something like that. And we were like, well, fuck, this is a Halloween movie. It was like early September we were watching it. It's just, it's fun, dumb, early 90s Full House magic. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
the creatures look fantastic. The kills are fun enough. And it's just insane. It's the last like 10 minutes of that movie is so fucking insane. And they never were able to capture that magic again. I constantly find myself almost wanting to pick Doll Man versus Demonic Toys, even though it is a glorified clip show, just because
Yeah.
I want to talk about Demonic Toys some more, and there's no other option.
I owned a triple feature of Demonic.
I have the
Oh no,
same.
it must be.
It was
so it's
Doll
not
Man, Demonic
too.
Toys, and then the Doll Man versus Demonic
Okay,
Toys.
that's what.
Or
it is.
was
That's
it
what
Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys?
No, it wasn't that.
No,
This was
the triple
Full
feature,
House was
and I
selling
never
like a
watched
3
any of
DVD
them.
pack of all of them.
Never watched
Doll
any of them
Man's
and
fun
got rid of
enough.
it.
Doll Man versus Demonic Toys is easily the worst of the three, but it's
Sure.
also because it's like it's literally Silent Night, Deadly Night too. Like it's like
Oh,
the
shit.
movie is legitimately 65 minutes long, and 40 minutes
Gotta
of it is
90 though.
like
That is-
clips from the Demonic Toys and Doll Man to get you up to speed.
That's insane.
And clips
Okay.
from Bad Channels because it introduces one of the characters from
Mhm.
Bad Channels into it as well. And then the last
the Full Moon universe feels half-assed to me.
Kyle, let me stress for you how half-assed the Full Moon universe is. At the end of Bad Channels, they're able to save 2 of the 3 girls, right?
Okay.
And each one of them has a different occupation. It's like a nurse, a waitress,
And a school teacher,
and
I'm
a
sure.
school teacher or a cheerleader, or
One's
whatever.
a blonde, one's a brunette, one's
Yeah.
a redhead.
yeah,
obviously.
yeah.
So
I've been here before.
So at the end of Bad Channels, 2 of the girls are returned to normal size, but the one girl who's a nurse is trapped in her tiny little jar, and that's how the movie ends. That's the horrifying final shot.
Okay.
For Doll Man versus Demonic Toys, it is the cheerleader that's still the tiny one, so they don't even have like a consistency within the movie that they
They're-
shot
they're
the same
They're
year.
the DC cinematic universe, but for horror. Like, there's
Holy
no continuity,
shit.
guys.
Holy shit.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
full of great shit like that. All right, Scott, what is your
Amazing.
4th pick?
Are we doing 5 then? Is that
5. 5 is the grand total.
okay?
yeah.
Going to 5. Okay, well, fine. All right, well then I'm gonna go with May because May
Of
is
course you are.
such a good time. I mean, I am not trying to reinvent the wheel here. I am trying to have a good fucking night, and any opportunity to watch May is a good one, and it is just a party.
All right. I mean, yeah, another one. That's a Scott and Matt only episode because Brian didn't watch the
Yep.
movie. A thing that Scott
Yep,
has
and
not.
I still haven't forgiven him.
Nope.
Nope.
I was gonna say keeps bringing it up. But yeah, it's a good. It's I would say one of the best films of the 2000s. Probably top 5, honestly.
That is
So,
one DVD I will never get rid of. Like
Yeah.
I don't expect to ever watch a DVD again, like a DVD.
But if God forbid
I-
that thing isn't on a streaming site, you're covered.
No, it's because of the fact that I got that movie on a whim. Like I know I've told this story, but I'll just abridge it for here. But like I went to the Blockbuster in college. It must have been my junior year of college. Found it in the previously watched bin, and I bought it, and that has followed me for fucking 20 years or something like that. It's been with me through everything, and I watched that movie so many times in college. I gotta say though, the weirdest thing about May has to be how many girls agreed to watch it with me and then kissed me while it was playing.
At what part?
They weren't my girlfriends
Yeah.
either. It was like a hookup, like
Mhm.
I was a kiss hookup. I was just kissing a lot of girls in college. I was a very good boy otherwise, but yeah, I don't know. I don't have any
If these lips could
sexual
talk,
skills. Like not sexual skills, but I don't know how to mac. I don't know how to I don't have game. I'm like, hey, do you want to come over and watch May? And they're like, sure.
Sure.
and then it's exactly like the date where in the movie May.
Where she just doesn't know what to do with her hands.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say when they're watching the zombie cannibal
Yeah.
picnic
exactly.
movie together.
And my baby does the hanky panky plays. And
Yeah.
then, yeah.
Dude, I fucking love that movie so much.
So, and
it
I
was
still-
it wasn't on
I
my
said to
it
Megan-
wasn't on my list because of the amount that Halloween is in it, but you are correct.
Well, it ends in Halloween.
Right. And I think that like the same way that like Donnie Darko is like it's not half by any means, but it is the crux
Is
in
the
which
crux
we
of
are
it, yeah.
talking. It is like so I it's such a good
Yeah,
movie.
I
What were
said
you saying?
half is like almost a generic metric. My
it's-
point
it's
is like it needs
the
one Halloween
eyeballing
scene
it.
does not a Halloween movie
Right.
make.
No, but this is very important. It's
Yeah.
very important, and it's a build up. Hey guys, I'm so sorry. You're gonna have to give me 2 seconds, and we can even do this on air. My friends sent me a trivia question in which I have to list the Friday the 13th movies in order by their posters. I think they're cheating at
What?
trivia, but they're not. But I'm
Wait.
so,
What's
so-
the question?
So okay, so
Are there posters?
so what is the subtitle of Friday the 13th Part 6? So
They just need to know like Friday the 13th Part 6 Jason Lives.
they're sending me the posters in which they've taken. Yes. So
Yeah,
They
that's Jason Lives.
okay, Jason Lives is Part 6.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you need me to just rattle these off because I can do this
Yeah,
for you
because
right
between
now.
the two of us, yeah.
No, you can. So Friday the 13th 1.
Friday the 13th Part 2,
3,
Friday the 13th 3D, Friday
Yeah.
the 13th 4, the final Friday.
Final chapter.
which has
final
the
chapter,
Ja-
final chapter,
which
final
has
chapter.
the
Final chapter.
Jason mask with the knife coming through.
Yep, that's 4.
the
Yep.
eyeball. Okay.
5 New Beginning,
New
which
Beginning.
is the one that's a different hockey mask that's lit up from the back with the red
Yep.
eyes.
Yep. Got it.
Part 6 is Jason Lives. Part
Yep.
7 is the New Blood,
New
which is the half
Blood,
girl
yeah.
face.
Which is the half.
Yep. 8 you are very
Jason
well
Takes
acquainted
Manhattan.
with because you have a signed poster of it.
Hold on. Stop.
They're like, we already lost.
So, 5. No. 5 is,
New Beginning.
and that's the one. Okay.
Is-
5. 10 is the. I'm sorry. Number 6 is half and half.
No. Number 6.
That's the one with the grave, and that's Jason Lives.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the tombstone.
So number 7 is half and half.
Number 7 is
Yeah,
half and half, and
that's
that's New
New
Blood.
Blood.
Okay. 8 is then Manhattan.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jason
Mhm.
Takes Manhattan.
Yeah, and then they got
Uh,
2.
Little weird snake
7.
thing coming out the eye hole is
Yep.
Jason Goes to
Jason
Hell,
Goes
the
to
final
Hell.
Friday.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and then Jason X
Jason X.
being yeah.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
And then if you want to get really pedantic, Friday the 13th, 2007.
Is actually
Yes.
part
Jared
And then
Padalecki.
they don't even have the poster on there.
Yeah, so it's,
We're good.
all right. Well, we
Okay,
helped you.
thank you all
So now
very
that we
much.
helped your friends cheat at trivia,
God,
what
I
is
know.
your?
I really that goes against everything for me, but it's also very exciting to be doing that with you guys on air. So I appreciate it.
All right.
Um,
So your number 4.
John Carpenter's Halloween
All right.
'78.
Can't go wrong with it.
Yeah, it needs to be on there for me.
If you don't have any Halloween movie on your draft, you're just trying to prove something.
Oh,
man.
well,
Yeah, and I don't have a ton.
well then,
I'm not trying to bully you into picking a Halloween movie.
I'm not going
Right.
to, so it's fine. But-
Right.
I should know by now.
But again, just like talking about the movies that, I mean, maybe Monster House doesn't fall into this, but like again, like there's just a seminal age in which like
Seminal.
seminal age in which like I developed, and it all revolves around Halloween, not the movie Halloween, not John Carpenter's Halloween, but Halloween themed things.
Yeah.
It's just
For sure.
I don't know. It's crazy. It's bonkers to me that these are all kind of in that same realm. But anyway.
All right. Well, Scott, how about you with your final? Oh wait, sorry, that's my turn. It's my turn.
Yeah.
I almost skipped myself.
Trying to double up.
I'm gonna
This
save
is
that
your
one.
second to last one.
Yeah, I'm gonna save that one because there's no way in hell anyone else is going for it. So I'll go with number 4. I mean, again, super on brand for me. Casper. Fucking love Casper. It ignited a crush on Christina Ricci when I was 10 years old, and it has not
stopped.
It has not stopped. But I do. I think that is a really great like kids Halloween movie. I actually think that it is still painfully underrated in comparison to a lot of the other like 90s kids Halloween movies that we've gotten like overly nostalgic for at this point.
Sure.
But it's funny, it's sweet. I absolutely adore the musical score throughout the entire film. It's one of the
Is it
first.
Danny Elfman?
No, it's James Horner. But
wow.
it was
Wow.
one of the very
know that.
first times I bought a soundtrack of just a musical score, because there's a little piano lick that starts in a song called Casper's Lullaby that flows throughout the second half of the soundtrack that I legitimately just think is like one of the prettiest little piano pieces. I love so much about that movie. It brings a lot of comfort. I won't say my friend's name, but I had a friend who got into a huge fight with her husband one night. And it was like 1 a.m, and she like called me up and she's like, I can't be in the house with him right now. And I picked her up, and I was fucking tired. I didn't have a guest room at the time, so she fell asleep in my bed with me. And the thing that she asked to put on as comfort was Casper. And like I weirdly connect that movie with this person because it was like whenever we would hang out in October, we would watch the movie Casper together. And it was just a very like sweet memory to connect with how much I love that movie is like just an October film, but it does take place at Halloween. It's all about them throwing the Halloween party at Christina Ricci's house and the ghost ruin it. But yes, I love Casper.
Yeah.
Now, Scott, you may do your fifth and final
I may
pick.
complete my. I may get into my refractory period after this. So as I hinted, you can't have a Halloween draft without a Halloween movie.
So
and
I'll just type
I can only
Halloween
pick
4.
one. Yes, exactly. I'm going with Halloween 4. That is a must-watch every October. I've been saving it up for. I usually do it on Devil's Night. It's my favorite of the series. It's not good. I know it's not good. I don't give a fuck. It's just fun. I mean, it has the vibe, and I would watch that and Halloween 78. I actually would watch Halloween 4, and Halloween 5 multiple times every October, all throughout high school. Those got so much play in my collection at the time that between that and the original Nightmare on Elm Street, I know all of the audio cues, and we've talked about this, Matt, millions of times about like that warm blanket effect, and it's they're just burnt into my brain. And so listening, I can only I watch a lot of movies, and you guys know this. I watch a lot of movies with the sound off in bed with Megan because like then I can fall asleep to it, but I can't listen to the music because we have fans on, or I can't listen to the sound because we have fans on. So I have to pick the movies like Nightmare on Elm Street or Halloween 4 or even Halloween or some other things like that I really want and need the audio cues. I need to watch those either at my desk while I'm working, just having them on is more like listening to music almost.
Right.
Or if I'm like awake and Megan is still sleeping on a Saturday morning or something like that. But yeah, so Halloween 4, absolutely going to round out my draft with Halloween 4 because it's just absolutely my favorite.
Nice. I'm going to make a bigger deal about this than it needs to be, but House of a Thousand Corpses represented, and Donnie Darko both represented some sort of like auteur cinema for me, right?
Yeah.
Like, it was Rob Zombie, and like, of course, like he was already an entity, but like he was a musician that I liked, and then he moved into film. Donnie Darko being like that mind-blowing thing that's what we sort of talked about, Matt. Monster House being a kid's one, and I have to represent there, and Halloween being an absolute classic. I think that my fifth and final pick kind of brings me to almost where I'm at now, which is Murder Party.
I love Murder
that was on my.
Party so much.
I was if you didn't pick it, I knew Matt was gonna pick it. I knew that one was coming up.
Murder Party means it means a lot to me. But it does. Murder Party is also just like, on all that shit aside about like it being a debut film by a filmmaker who I really fucking like.
And so different than what he became known for.
Exactly. like that's the thing, is that like it seemed like like it's not certainly a calling card for Jeremy Saulnier, but it's also like he was able to do it, so he did it so that he could then make what his voice is meant to make later on.
If you could sit down someone and show them Murder Party and then show them Green Room, and there's no way they would believe it was the same filmmaker.
No way.
And there's only one movie that divides them. You know what I mean? Like it's like it's such a crazy.
No,
just
I know
like
it.
A to C. Like
it is. But even so, then even contextually, Murder Party being about a man who is lonely and finds an invitation to a Halloween party, seemingly just like, I mean, it is invite only, but it's also like a kind of a, like he finds it. So it's like, what is it a door hanger? Like, what is it?
Yeah.
Right. So he's like, well, I'll go. I'm a lonely man. And then like, I'll go to this Halloween party. And it resonated with me because I was like trying to find like my Halloween party, when it came out, and turns out that it's a really gritty, low budget, like indie flick about a Halloween party, and it's great. I fucking love Murder Party, and I try to watch it every year, or try to at least find somebody to show it to that might appreciate it. Kind of like a Murder Party scenario where I send them an invite and bring them to my house. And
I can't believe you showed up.
Right.
I gave that movie a lot of shit years ago, and I've definitely when we did it for the show, I think we did it for the show. Right, Matt?
We've never done an episode on Murder Party. Brian's always talked about wanting to pick it, but never.
Didn't we do it for? We didn't do it in Red Horror Club.
No, I think it was just a movie that we all randomly found on our own and gave it different views, and like gave like a what did I watch review to at different points.
Okay, so I mean, but to that end, I definitely my views have softened. I appreciate it for what it is, and I'd watch it again.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'm going my fifth pick. This was never at risk of being picked by anybody. I don't even know if I love this movie. But like I don't know if I love this movie. Like it's kind of hard to explain. I don't know if I recommend this to anybody. So let me explain it in these terms, and we will see how people figure it out. This movie that I'm about to pick is my dad's favorite movie of all time. We watched it so much as kids at an age that none of us should be watching this movie. It is.
Oh yeah.
it is in the spiritual sense of like an Animal House, a Caddyshack, a Revenge of the Nerds, which is to say that it does not have great views on women, and is pretty problematic at most parts. But I just fucking love this movie. The cast is absolutely insane, and that movie is Hollywood Nights from 1980, a movie starring Robert Wall, Tony Danza, Fran Drescher, Michelle Pfeiffer and Stuart Pankin. And I'll just read the first paragraph of the wiki explanation of it. On Halloween night in the year of 1965, Newbom Turk is the leader of the Hollywood Knights, a car club made up of teenage boys who play pranks, harass the police, and like to display their cars at Tubby's Drive-In restaurant in Beverly Hills. Their way of life is about to change, however, because Tubby's is being demolished the next morning to be replaced with brand new office buildings. As the Knights find ways to rebel against the plan to destroy their beloved location, they also are busy initiating 4 new club pledges on Halloween night. And that's basically it. It's just like in the same vein of American Graffiti and Animal House, where it's just a snapshot of a day in these lives. But, you know, it is a Halloween. It takes place at Halloween, and it's 1980s Mad Magazine fart and sex humor. You know, like it is a National Lampoon type film. If you are a fan of that time of filmmaking, then and you haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out. If the problematic ways that those movies have aged over the last 40 years is a problem, this is not some secret gem that is like bizarrely progressive compared to the rest. Like just you know who you are and what your likes are, and if it sounds like something you would like but you've never heard of, you should check it out. And
that is the most in-depth "it is what it is"
Yes.
explanation you've ever given. But I need it, but I also needed it because I don't know this movie.
Yeah,
so
I don't know
appreciate
how
it.
because like everything I've read about this movie is like it did not do well. You know what I mean? Like it was
Right.
like the fact that my dad like saw this and then locked it in his brain as like one of his absolute favorite movies is like baffling to me. My brother and I joke around all the time that like he has single-handedly kept any form of fandom of that movie alive just by liking that movie and passing it on to his kids.
And telling everybody about it.
Do we want to do a quick round of like some of our honorable mentions before we wrap it up? What was
I just have one.
what was it?
Oh wow!
A weird one. Flatliners.
Oh,
Now I wouldn't necessarily pick it.
bye. Sorry.
Little Billy doesn't want me talking about Flatliners. So I only want to mention it because I had completely forgotten about the fact that it takes place around Halloween.
Yeah.
That's it.
Know that
All right.
either.
Kyle, how about you? Do you have any honorable mentions?
I got a couple. I put The Crow.
I thought
as-
that was going to be your fifth and final, honestly.
That's
Yeah.
Devil's Night. It's not
And-
Halloween.
Right,
Whatever.
right. So I didn't take it as seriously, and it almost replaced Monster House, but I definitely wanted a kids movie in there. Do you want me to rattle? You want to
rattle
robin
them
this?
off, and then I'll
Okay,
fill in.
no,
what
I
I've
had
got.
Double Toil and Trouble, Mary-Kate and Ashley. I did have Trick or Treat, 2008, whatever year that was, the Michael Dougherty one. And then I also had Satan's Little Helper, which I haven't revisited in a long time, but I remember being pleasantly surprised. Oh, I also had Once Bitten with Jim Carrey.
That's fair.
But it was more of like if I needed them. It really,
Yeah.
I don't think, besides The Crow, I don't think, and Trick or Treat, I don't think any of those would have necessarily made my. I also don't remember how much of E.T. has Halloween in it.
Besides the walk, like when they're dressing him up,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I was going to say
it's
it's a small chunk of it.
Okay.
So the,
I would allow it if you would pick.
yeah, if
I
you had
haven't
picked
seen
it, I would.
E.T. in 20 years.
The last
really.
time I saw
Like,
E.T. was at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery,
yeah,
introduced by
so
Drew Barrymore. So
Holy
almost
shit.
12 years ago.
Yeah.
So a few that I threw on here, none of these really one of these had a chance of making it onto the list. The other three were just like you said with like Satan's Little Helper, just
True
like
backups,
if everything just started going. So the one that had actual potential to make it onto my list was Ginger Snaps. The first Ginger Snaps has a
yeah.
lot of Halloween in it. Then the
Yep.
ones that like if they push came to shove, I would throw these in here. Hocus Pocus, which I'm kind of shocked none of us went for, just because it would piss Scott off. Spaced Invaders,
Hocus
which
Pocus. No, I'm just kidding.
which I most recently made a group of friends in my basement watch. And then
Next, friends.
and then the newest one I put on the list, because it is based on the best Batman comic book of all time, the newest Batman
Long
movie for
Halloween?
being inspired by the Long
Yeah.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
That's fair. I think that's I like that as a deep cut.
Yeah, like it.
I mean, the reference, the Batman is not a deep cut.
No,
I mean,
no, but
the reference to The Long Halloween is a deep cut.
Yeah, and I do think the movie takes place, or at least starts, on Halloween night. I could be wrong about that, but I think the kids are going trick or treating
a lot.
Yeah, like
It just rains in Gotham the entire
well,
time.
but
I don't know if
I
anybody's
think the way he
trick-or-treating
gets
there.
the very first kill is that the kid's wife and kids are going trick or treating, and that's when he like sneaks in. I'm pretty sure is how that movie starts off. I've only seen it twice, and I probably won't watch it a third time for a while because the movie makes me feel real bad about the world. but hopefully we here at Horror Movie Night make you feel good about the world. So thank you for tuning
That's the
in
hope.
on your Halloween night or afternoon or morning to listen to us rank off some of these movies. What did we miss? What should we have added? Let us know on our Facebook page or Instagram. Probably Facebook's better. We're getting better at Instagram, but we're really good at the Facebook thing. And we'll be back on Thursday with more Horror Movie Night.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Everything is more exhilarating when you're on your motorcycle, just like your bike is more protected when you choose Progressive Motorcycle Insurance. They offer coverage for your bike, starting as low as $75 per year. And they keep things affordable, with discounts like paid in full, multi-policy, and responsible driver. So raise your kickstands and get to quoting at Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. $75 premium is for state minimum coverage. Not available in D.C. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.